Okay, so how long over, like, time span are we talking that you paid that $46,000 off?
I think it was about 3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years? Sorry, that was really loud in the mic. That quickly?
Yeah, so one of the things that amplified it, do you want to tell the story?
Yeah, so we had been working really hard on paying off this debt. And I remember we were driving around, like, Bob's driving. I'm sitting in the passenger seat or whatever. It was like, I don't know. You know how you just get that thing where it's like just something, it's like a lightning bolt just strikes you and you're like, I've got an idea and this is from the Lord. And, you get really excited about it. And so I'm like getting really fired up and I'm watching Bob get a little bit like stressed out and his knuckles are turning white. So
explain the idea.
I feel like we've been, it's almost like we had been afraid of the debt. Like it almost got to a point where instead of putting our trust in God, we were putting our trust in our ability to pay off the debt. And I was like, this is just backwards. And I felt like the Lord was saying, I want you to give an extra 10%. So we had already been tithing. We'd been tithing for years. I tithed my whole life because, that was just how I was raised. And it was like, I think we're supposed to give an extra 10%. And so Bob's like, knuckles start turning white, his eyes are opening wider. But
Well, yeah, because I'm the planner and I have all the numbers.
I
in my
have
mind.
no idea what's going on. I'm just the visionary. I'm like, we're gonna do this. It's gonna be great. And he's like, I don't even know if this is possible. So, but he didn't just shut me down, which is what is so great about Bob, is he was like, okay, if God wants us to do that, then he's going to have to make a way for that to happen because I can't pull this money out of thin air. So, whatever. So he goes home, looks at everything, and he says, okay, well, what's going to have to happen is we're going to have to take that money out of paying off of our debt and put it in the offering bucket or wherever. And
Which puts a huge wrench in my debt payoff plan.
And
so now
Bob
it's going to take so
had
much
a plan.
longer.
Yeah, plan. Man with a plan.
he was a man with a plan. And so, and this is kind of me starting to get involved a little bit, right? Like, because I had been so hands-off for so long, and even that I didn't really know what was going on. But when I come up with this idea, and I felt like the Lord had given me this idea to do this, then it's like, well, we're in this together. Like, this is no longer Bob figure it out and Linda can just sit on the sidelines. It's like, if God wants us to do this, then we have to believe him to do it.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening?
So we did. And like at that point, we were, I don't know, maybe a couple years into our marriage. And the plan was going to be about 4 years from that point to get it paid off. And we ended up getting it paid off probably in about 2 years or less. Like it should have taken so much longer and God like amplified the speed.
All while.
And we've had this happen multiple times.
Hold on, this was all while Bob lost his job. He got laid off. Felt like he was supposed to start the blog where he was making $100 a month. Like, this math does not add up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the calculator. So, okay, let's talk about that. So
It's Jesus. Jesus is on the calculator.
let's talk about that. So you felt very strongly that the Lord had told you to start this blog.
Yeah.
And you get laid off. And I love this whole story. So I want you to explain about how you had that bonus and all of that stuff. Because that's just so cool to me. Like,
Bonus.
when you said about how...
So I can tell
Yeah,
it
thanks,
because I know
Linda.
what you're
We're
talking
tracking.
about.
I was like, what story? Is this my one?
So basically, we knew he was getting laid off, and so we were like, okay, well, we have a little bit of time to prepare. So we're doing the best that we can with what we're making to prepare for this massive deficit in our finances that we're going to be experiencing, right? So, yeah, we cut everything down. We're slashing budgets even more than they were before. And it comes time for, his last day, and he gets a severance package because he got laid off because they were closing the branch. And then he also got a retention bonus, which meant they needed people to stay till the end. So a lot of people just left and went to get another job. But because it worked out that Bob was actually going to be working on this blog, he was like, I will stay there as long as I possibly can. But he ended up getting paid to stay there until the very end.
Yeah.
And that was honestly like this giant chunk that we put Did that help us pay off our debt?
That was part
that
of
what
paying
we
off the
did?
debt was that, but it also sustained us a little bit as we got this blog business
Yeah,
off the ground
ground.
and up and running. So yeah,
It was like, yeah, we couldn't have made that up. You know what I mean? It's like you can't just pull that money out of thin air. Like
Yeah.
it just was the blessing of the Lord.
Yeah.